Hey, what's up, guys? Happy holidays. You can see we got the Christmas tree up today. This is Matt here on Just for Fun. Happy Hanukkah, that's when I'm recording this, to all the Jewish players out there, including Russell from the Limited Queue. Today we're up for some fun. We're just gonna have some good, clean, stupid fun, and we're gonna play a terrible deck that I enjoy playing a lot. It's called Big Dumb Things. So as you can see from our hand, we play creatures that cost a lot and ramp spells and nothing else pretty much, just enablers and stuff like that. The funnest thing about this deck is that it is singletons. In all the fatties are just one-ofs. The ramp cards, there's multiple for obvious reasons, but the fatties are all one-of fatties, and it looks like we're up against some kind of blue-white control deck, which is probably going to be pretty hard for us to beat, especially when we're off to such a slow start. So, that said, opponent doesn't have any pressure on us yet either. If he drops Sphinx's tutelage, that'll be pretty rough. Alright, so he's looking to go big too, perhaps. Alright. Land pass. Okay, we've got now 2 ramp spells in our hand, which is cool. Two ramp spells, 2 fatties, and if we can stick a fatty and cast See the Unwritten, that'll be really good, but then again, opponent could very well have Planar Outburst or what have you. Okay. Conclave Naturalist is a good draw. I'm going to cast Explosive Vegetables here. If he counters it, fine. I'd rather he counter that than the Hedron Archive. Okay, not countered. So, we get 2 more lands in play. Next turn we have 7. So actually we could even play Hedron Archive and Colossus, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be 1, 2, 3 left, and then 4, 5. Yeah. Alright, so, or we just slam Gaia's Revenge. Yeah. That seems like pretty good. So since it can't be targeted, it's likely he's gonna have to Wrath to get rid of that. So, you know, odds of him having 2 Wraths are probably not that high. I mean, he could. But we already got him for 8, so much of the damage has been done. Okay, Conduit of Ruin. Okay. So I guess we're not expecting Wrath. We're expecting Esper Big Dumb Things, which is weird. If you're gonna play Big Dumb Things, he failed to find, so he doesn't have a weird. Okay. So what do we do here? 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's attack. Alright. Are we trading? Not trading would be very weird. Okay. Okay, we trade. And we play another giant creature that threatens to smash some face in. It's really weird that he played that Conduit of Ruin and didn't search up anything. Like, what's the point of it then? Unless he's trying to reduce the cost of a blue or white or black creature. I'm not sure what that could be. Okay. So, normally I'd be just dumping my hand, but the mana base makes me think I should be expecting a Wrath or something, so... Okay, so what do we got here? Ulamog's Nullifier as a chump blocker? Okay, so he wouldn't be doing that if he had any kind of removal to be playing. So here, I guess I'll play that. Play Bane of Balaged. And grab grab my own Conduit of Ruin. How about that? So that I can just keep that in my hand, and then if he deals with my creatures, I can restock pretty quickly with that. Between that and See the Unwritten. Yeah. Okay, so even, you know, playing around stuff, we won that pretty handily. God knows what the hell this deck is that we're playing against. It's a very weird deck. So, no sideboard for obvious reasons. Let's run it back. And keep trying to do some big dumb things here in Standard. Deck reminds me of the Garrick decks from Duels of the Planeswalkers, where it's just like, wow, interact, and let's just play big things and hope one of them is big enough to win, you know? And that's kind of fun. That's kind of how I started in Magic. I mean, when I first started, I remember the first pack of Revised I opened, that Crawworm was in there, and that was my favorite card. I was like 6'4". I was like, how is anybody gonna beat that? So, we've come a long way. All right, this is a Keeperoonie. All right, Sight of the Scale Lord's not what I had in mind. Hopefully we draw Whisperer. Ha! Called shot. Nice. Complete disregard. Alright, well. Very few targets for that, I suspect, so. Alright, we'll still get to Planinus's Pilgrimage. And next turn we can Sirach. card is pretty scary. I just wanted some place to play this because it goes over the top of everything. Bladed Cataract, okay. And then nothing. So here I'm gonna play Channeler. Which I could follow up with Ugin if I want. Alright, ooh, looks like we're getting countered. Nope. Anticipate. This is a weird card, Channeler, because it's like, I think it's great. It's a great card. It's obviously really powerful. A 5, especially at common, a 5-mana 4/4 is always fine, especially with no color restriction. And then the ability is great. It ramps you to 8 basically if you hit your land drop. So lets you cast big bombs next turn. But there's, I mean, this card I should probably play in Pauper because there are some decks that just can't beat a 4/4 and then the ability on top of it. So it's kind of, but it's kind of a strange card in that you kind of want to attack and block it with your 4/4. So having it be a mana dork is a little weird. Alright, Fathom Feeder, okay. That does keep my dude at bay. Or it would. Ooh, 7. We don't have enough for Ugin here. I could cast Gaia's Revenge, but then it's just gonna trade off with that, so we don't want to do that. Let's play a fatty. Are we gonna get countered right here? Spell Shrivel, okay. Alright. That's fine. Now we have 2 things in exile, so we have to be aware of Nullifier. But the great thing about this deck is that once you hit enough lands, I mean, you just keep drawing bomb after bomb after bomb, and eventually one of them might do it. I mean, you never know, unless you're playing against like a dedicated control deck full of removal and stuff. Okay, thanks for that. I really appreciate you attacking with that. That's great. So now you can't trade off, and I get to hit you for 8 for free. So that seems pretty cool. I think the bladed lands, they're all like maybe 1 too expensive, because like tapping it is costing you 1 mana basically. So like this is costing you 7 to draw 2 cards, which seems kind of like shitty. Whereas if it was 5 plus tap, that seems a lot more reasonable. Yep. I don't know if he was going for Utter End or something like that, but then he realized he couldn't do it. This card is so beyond underrated, I don't understand. I guess just because it's old, people don't care to play with it, but it's freaking great. It's great! Haste, great. Can't be countered, great. Can't be targeted. What more do you want from a late game threat? I mean, evasion, sure, but haste is sort of, you know, because like it takes you by surprise, you know. And just being an 8/5 is evasion in a way too, because otherwise they're just freaking chump blocking, you know. Obviously, the little death touch dudes are kind of annoying, but you know, shit happens. If we land Ugin, we can just blow that thing up anyway. He attacks with it again. This guy's a little unusual, I have to say. I'm not really too clear on what his plan is. Okay, so with all that open mana, don't really want to risk 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the shrines are online, so I don't need to tap the channeler for mana. So what I'm going to do is attack with both of them here, because that's lethal, and see if he can deal with that. And if not, you know, then he's gonna have to tap mana to deal with this somehow. Because if he doesn't, he's dead. And then if he does tap, I can drop something ridiculous. Nullifier, okay. That's your plan, chump block. Why on earth did he attack with the Fathom Feeder? I don't understand that. Alright. This sets up a win with Breaker of Armies. So, I'm gonna play that. No, I don't want to sacrifice that. Alright, so we have 22 power on board, opponents at 8. He has to block Breaker of Armies with whatever creatures he plays. So he has to have 2 removal spells or a sweeper. Oblivion Sower is not going to do anything. And he realizes that and concedes. So, big dumb things taken match 1.